All right, Math 8, this is the extra video, okay? This is just in case you want some extra examples. You're not sure about that first one. You can definitely fast forward through it, so just watch what you need, okay? All right, so let's talk about translations, extra examples. How do you write translations in coordinate form? Let's start with that, okay? So remember, here's a big idea. Remember, the x-axis moves left to right, okay? That's a big thing. As I move left to right, anything to the left is negative numbers, right? Think of a number line. And anything to the right is positive numbers. So those are two big ideas to think about. For the y-axis, it moves up and down, right? Anything positive moves up, anything negative moves down, like a thermometer, if you will. So if you're asked to write something like, hey, can you write the translation of 2 units right? So think about right. If I'm going right, that means I'm going positive. And 5 units up means I'm also going positive. That means it'll look something like this. You go x, y, right? Put it in parentheses. You write your arrow and you say x. I want to go right. I want to go 2 to the right, so I add 2 to the x. And if I want to go 5 units up, I'm going to go y plus 5. And that's how you would write translation notation. Let's try another example. Take a look at this one. I want to go 3 units left. Left means I'm going to the negative direction, okay, with the x. So I write this part and I go x minus 3. If I want to go 2 units up, again, up is positive for the y, so I go y plus 2. That's the translation notation. Okay, example number 3, let's go backwards on that. What if I give you the translation notation? Can you tell me what the heck they're trying to ask you to do? So take a look. X plus 4, y minus 5. All right, let's see. It would be 4 units right, because you're adding, going right, that's positive. And 5 units down. 5 units down. So 4 units right, 5 units down for each x and y. How about this one? Try this one out. What are they trying to tell you here? Okay, so yeah, you should see that it's 2 units left and 1 unit up. Okay, because positive. Left because it's negative, right? X value. Last one, what's happening here? Okay, good. X, nothing's happening. No change with x, but only the y moves up 4. Okay, so you saw some examples. Now let's find some new coordinates. Let's actually apply that new knowledge. How do we use this? All right, so let's say we have this triangle, okay? What are the coordinates of the image, right? This is after we make the translation. If the rule is x plus 2, y minus 3, and the pre-image, the ones that we start with, are here. Okay, so how do we do this? All right, so what I like to do is I like to make a little chart, especially in the beginning as you're starting to learn this information. Okay, I make a little chart. I write down the points of the pre-image, the A, the B, the C. I wrote those all here. And then I say, okay, here's the translations. Translations tell me to go x, you add 2 to it, and every y, you subtract 3. So every x, I add 2 to it, 2. And then for every y, I subtracted 3 from it. So 0 plus 2, 4 minus 3, that gives you 2, 1. That's A prime. Next point, 2, 3. So 2, add 2 to it, 3 minus 3, I get 4, 0. Last one, negative 4, I add 2 to it, negative 1, I add 2 to it, negative 4, I subtract 3 from it, and I get that value. So there you go. You went from your pre-image to your image. This is before, translation, and after. All right, for this one, we're actually going to graph it. So a quadrilateral, MNOP, has the coordinates MNOP. These are the vertices, the corners of the quadrilateral. Okay, what are the new coordinates if this is the translation they're asking you to do? Okay, so once again, I'm going to do that same table. Here was M, N, O, and P. I just wrote those from here. Okay, and here's the translation rules. It said to subtract 4 from the x, subtract 1 from the y. So I did that one at a time from each of those points. The 0, subtract 4. The y value 0, subtract 1. 4 minus 4, 0 minus 1. 4 minus 4, 6 minus 1. 0 minus 4, 6 minus 1. And those are my new points. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and graph. I'll graph, let's say, this in blue, and the pre-image, and then the image in red, so you can see the change. All right, so let's start with this one. M, 0, 0. N, I should point that. M is 0, 0. That's at the origin. N is 4, 0. That's N, 4, comma 0. O is 4, comma 6. That's over here. And P was 0, comma 6. That's P, 0, 6. All right, so you can see if I connect this, it creates a rectangle or a quadrilateral. Okay. Now with the translations, notice what's happening. X minus 4, that means I'm going to go 4 negative, 4 to the right, y minus 1, I'm going to go 1 down. So it should look down somewhere over here. And let's take a look and see if that happened. -4, -1. That should be m prime. -4, -1. N prime, 0, -1. N prime, 0, -1. O, 0, 5. That's right here. 0, 5. That was O prime. And then P prime, -4, 5. P prime, -4, 5. And if you notice when I connect them, I've now created another rectangle, and it was shifted 4 this way and 2 down. It's pretty cool. I have one last example for you. Okay, in this last example, it says the baseball below was filmed using a stop motion animation, so it appeared to be thrown in the air. Use translation notation, okay, to describe the translations used. All right, so actually this one needed to be on a graph, would have been nicer, so let me go ahead and graph it real quick. Give me 1 second. All right, so here's the baseball thrown in the air. In order for it to look like it's thrown in the air, it's not going to go from A to C back to B. It's going to have this arc thing going on, right? So it's going to go from A to B and then B to C. So how do I show from A to B? Well, here we go. So you start with X, comma, Y. We say translate it. What happened from here to here? Well, let's start going this way. It went 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it took your X value and it went positive 4. Okay, then on the Y value went up 1, 2, 3, 4. So Y, add 4 to that. That would be your first translation. Okay, so it tells you, hey, take your X, go 4 to the right and 4 up. Boom, there's that one. And then if I want to go from B to C, I show X, comma, Y, right? The little arrow, and I say X. What happened to X? Well, X went 1, 2, 3. So I added 3 because I'm going in the positive direction. And the Y value went down 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so I go Y minus 3. And that's it. Those are the true translations. This tells you, hey, go 4 this way and 4 up. This one goes 3 this way and 3 down. It just so happened those are the numbers. But yeah, so there's it. Hopefully that gives you a little bit more clarity on the notes. If you have more questions, please come to class ready to go. Keyword this week. If you listen to this, you're going to get baseball. Baseball is the keyword this week.